Welcome back to the Grand Solar Minimum channel. Today is Monday, May 13th, 2019. Hope everybody had a great Mother's Day weekend. I know we did. It was very relaxing, but we also have a lot to cover as well here in GrandSolarMinimumNews.com. Once again, we have the show laid out for you. And yeah, this one, this episode tonight will take the cake, folks. We are jam-packed with all kinds of climate news, worldwide headlines, and also a look at this week's weather as well, or what's to come. But here we are at the GrandSolarMinimum.com. Let's take a look at solar wind conditions for 29.5 kilometers per second with a density of 11.4. Now over here at SPACEWEATHER.com, we are looking at sunspot 2741, still hanging on, and 2740 is no longer a threat for any kind of solar flares. We are still sitting at 74 days for spotless days for the year. Let's take a better look, and I do appreciate the effort that Mari puts into these little movie clips for us here. But these are the two sunspots right now that we're looking at. AR 2740 is on the far right, and of course AR 2741 is on the left, and still kind of crackling with minor B-class flares. Now, they're not expecting anything hardcore from this, but these CMEs here, these filament releases, we are possibly going to see some kind of effect from these CMEs that we're looking at here on SDO. We will see efforts probably somewhere, actually, they're saying May 15th and May 16th, there is possible chance for a G1 geomagnetic storm, and also isolated periods of G2 as well will be a part of this situation. So we'll circle the calendars here for the 15th and 16th of May. We're going to see G1 geomagnetic storms with also the possibility of some times where we see conditions at G2. But what we're looking at here, this explosion, 3 and possibly 4 CMEs are en route to Earth following the series of explosions near AR 2741. The most potent so far occurred on May 12th when a filament of magnetism surrounding the sunspot became unstable and erupted. This blast zone was more than 220,000 kilometers in diameter. So pretty large situation here. Similar eruptions on May 10th, 11th, 13th combined with this one to produce a train of faint coronal mass ejections heading in our direction. So that is why we will see the possibility for at least G1s, but if not, periods of favorable conditions for a G2 storm. Let's take a look at the SpaceWeather.com section of GrandSolarMinimum.com, I should say. Our space weather edition, and as we look at this solar X-ray flux, all the activity's kind of quieted down. The KP indices, the 24-hour max, is at a 2, and they were as low as a 1 earlier. And let's take a look at the SDO in motion as we already have. Check this out right here. Well, that's the CME that we're possibly going to see the G2 storms. Now watch this here at the end. A coronal hole explodes at the very end of this. So very interesting, and we will have to wait to see what kind of effects we get from this. As you can see here at the tail clip, and let's see what the timestamp is on this. So this was about 15 UTC time today, where we see this image of a coronal hole kind of just a burst at that point. So we will not only did we catch something really great on the SDO, the helio viewer, but here at the tail end of this, it looks like we have a coronal hole situation. So we will keep an eye on this, possibly just add to the G1 conditions, and this is probably why they're thinking we could see strong periods of G2, especially after watching that mini explosion here of this coronal hole. Now let's take a look at our star on all angles of this. Of course, the missing section is the stereo B, which we no longer have contact with, But really, these guys, when I say these guys, this sunspot region, AIR 2740 and AIR 2741, is putting on a show right now, considering that we are in a solar minimum. So interesting activity from our star at this point in time. We will definitely monitor what may come tomorrow, the updates for any kind of geomagnetic activity. A possibility we could see an uptick of maybe a G3 from the looks of things here in the star. We will keep an eye on this as well. And taking a look at the TSI, we are now sitting at 1360.628. So we had that little dip, and we have rebounded to right around the normal readings that we usually get for TSI readings, but it is staying away from the 1360.7 value. So continue to watch that. TSI going up and down. Right now it's maintaining in the 0.6 values like it usually does. All right, so let's go ahead and check out some GSM world news. Yeah, many drivers left in disbelief. Why is that? Well, according to this news story here in Blandford, Massachusetts, winter weather in May made a difficult commute. Yeah, we don't want that. Thanks. Made for a difficult commute this Mother's Day. Many drivers who hit the road Sunday were surprised to see snow in Blandford, adding stress to one of the busiest traffic days of the year. The heaviest of traffic began Sunday afternoon and continued into the early evening, which is why drivers were encouraged to plan ahead this Mother's Day weekend. And with unexpected snowfall in the western hills of Berkshire on Sunday, caused quite a bit of problems along the Mass Pike. I saw a guy commenting on Joe Bastardi's post yesterday, and he put, "We have snowfall here in the Berkshires, LOL." Again, this was not expected. Daniel Thomas Dunphy, a cashier at Blandford Services Plaza Golf Station, spoke with 22 News about the sudden impact of the wintry weather. He says the whole parking lot area was very busy, filled with cars. Everyone was getting kind of mad at the slowness, and it was just really busy. Talking about the wintry mix of rain, sleet, and snow caused several accidents on I-90, and to ensure safety, the speed limit on the Mass Pike had been reduced to 30 miles per hour from the border of New York to mile marker 44 to West Springfield. One driver traveling back to New York from visiting mother-in-law and holiday told 22 News he anticipated some heavy traffic on the Mass Pike, but not for the inch or so of snow. So just more evidence that we are still seeing winter-like conditions here in the Northeast and other parts of this country as of May 12th. Some accusing, now, of course, this didn't leave anybody stranded or anything like that, but still something to talk about this late in the year as far as snowfall, and we shouldn't be seeing any at all at this point, especially on the East Coast. And I'll get to tonight's weather too, as far as that goes, talking about what we shouldn't see at this time of year. Tropical cyclone Anne, moving towards northern Queensland of Australia. It's a Category 1, so it's a weaker storm at this point. Continue to move west-northwest northern Queensland. The cyclone is expected across the northeast tropical coast of Queensland on Wednesday morning, May 15th, most likely as a Category 1 system. So, not that these are to look at and not be worried about, but it's something to mention anyway. The good news is that we won't see anything major. Gales with gusts of about 62 miles an hour may develop about the coast and adjacent island areas in between Lockhart River and Port Douglas early on Wednesday morning, and may extend north Cape York later on Wednesday as the cyclone approaches the coast. As the cyclone crosses the coast, the storm tide may occur between Lockhart River and Cape Tribulation. Large waves may produce minor flooding along the foreshore. People living in the area may be affected by this flooding and should take measures to protect their property as much as possible and be prepared to help their neighbors. Areas of heavy rain which may lead to flash flooding are likely to develop along the coast and ranges about Lockhart River and Ingram during Tuesday night and are likely to persist through Wednesday. A flood watch has been issued for coastal catchments between Cooktown and Ingham. People between Cape York and Port Douglas should consider what action they will need if the cyclone threat increases. Taking a look at tropical tidbits as you see the storm approaching land and really dying down as it makes landfall. So it's a lot more impressive off of the east coast of this storm at this point right now, but not much punch once it does cross into land. Thanks to the Watchers.news once again for their wonderful reporting, letting us know what is happening right now. Record May rainfall in Paris, France. That's right, folks. We were just talking about snow, and now we're talking about rainfall here. Almost an entire monthly average of rainfall fell on the French capital, Paris, from Friday to Saturday, May 10th to the 11th. According to the French Weather Channel, Paris Metro recorded 1.272 inches of rain in that period. The average rainfall for the whole month of May is 2.24 inches of rain. In total, since the beginning of the month, nearly 3.14 inches of rain was recorded in the city. So they are already above their monthly average, and we're not even to the midway point for May. Combs-la-Ville in Seine-et-Marne department recorded an all-time high for May. Rainfall on Saturday was around 2.34 inches in just 24 hours. So once again, seeing that huge swing in weather from cold to warm to cold to warm. We were talking about snow in France, May snow in France. Now we're talking about record rainfall for France in just a week's time. So Old Man Winter said hello and then goodbye just as fast. Cosmic ray influx, folks, that's what caused these record rainfalls to happen in areas that aren't used to it. Plenty of water vapor in the atmosphere and quickly falling back down to the ground as precipitation. Rain is saturating the soil right now, creating a cooling effect, like we always say here, I guess, right? All right, deadly blizzard sweeps through Mongolia. At least 4 people have been killed after a severe blizzard swept through the province of southern Mongolia on May 11th and May 12th. Heavy snowfall has also affected other Mongolian provinces. According to the provincial government, report issued late May 12th, rescues of the province's emergency management department have found alive 37 of the 41 herders who were lost in the snowstorm. So that's very fortunate at that point. But the remaining 4 people, including 2 members of a family, the province, they feel have frozen to death during the snowstorm on Saturday night. Number of livestock animals were also lost in this storm as well, folks. Just another example of winter's grip here. This is just above. We're in Asia over here seeing snow in May. Leave a link, of course, on the website here at thegrandsolarminimum.com. Moving right along, we're staying overseas. Talking about extremely heavy rain hits Yonaguni, Okinawa, Japan. 14.4 inches in 6 hours. Now that's a little more extreme than 2.74 in La France. But anyway, a stationary front dumped extremely heavy rain on the island of Yonaguni, Japan's southernmost province of Okinawa, on Monday, May 13, 2019. You may remember that Mr. Miyagi was from Okinawa as well. An evacuation advisory was issued for the entire island. The Japan Meteorological Agency said the town located in the district of Tokurono received around 15.72 inches of rain in 24 hours on May 13th. The agency said an extremely heavy level of 14.4 inches of rain fell in just over 6 hours, 10.8 inches in a 3-hour period, and that is the heaviest since detailed records began in 2003. In just 1 hour, May 13th, the district received 4.31 inches. This is the highest amount of rain ever recorded in the month of May. So for 1 hour, 4.31 inches takes the cake, folks. This much rainfall is seen on a scale of 1 to every 50 years, said the JMA. And they might be downplaying that a little bit. The agency urged residents to be on guard against landslides and flooding. It is believed that some homes were flooded and that several roads in the town were cut off by flooding, and officials are trying to check the damage. A town official that spoke to the Mancini Shimbun by telephone said that torrential rain on an unprecedented level began falling about 4 JST on May 13th. The town has received over 17.71 inches of rain since May 12th. Jeez. I mean, I'm trying to put my head around that 17.7 inches of rain. Tonight, we're getting a pretty heavy dose of rain. We're only supposed to get a half inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. And that's a lot. The ground's already saturated. It's puddling out there. But that's nothing compared to 17.71 inches of rain, folks. That's a large, enormous amount. And once again, we can add another country, another area of the planet to that list of heavy flooding we've seen so far this year across Europe and Africa, Japan, parts of Australia, India. Iraq has flooded out pretty bad this year, so the parts of Iran, India, I think I already said India, Indonesia, and of course the United States. It's not just in one part of the world, folks. This is everywhere. Let's take a look at another article. Oh, this is a Fanny update. Cyclone Fanny hits death toll of 64 now. Deadliest cyclone since 1999 super cyclone in India. So this cyclone that made landfall in May 3rd, 2019. Unfortunately, the death toll rose to 64. It's the strongest cyclone to hit since 1999 super cyclone. Special Relief Commissioner Situation Report confirmed that 39 people died in Puri district alone. This is 18 more than what the government had declared earlier. Out of the 64 people that have passed away, 25 died due to the wall collapse. 20 were crushed by uprooted trees, electric poles, and hoardings, and 6 died after being buried under collapsed roofs. This cause of over 13 deaths is yet to be asserted. This makes Fanny the deadliest cyclone since 1999, which killed an estimated 10,405. So leaps and bounds of the severity of the cyclones that have hit this region. 1999, the super cyclone, 10,000 people perished. Only 64 is enough, but I'm just saying to see that this is only the second deadliest cyclone. So that tells you right there that storms are not getting stronger because of man-made global warming, not in this region anyway. In fact, this is the actual opposite. When you say we've lost 64 people compared to losing 10,000 people in 99, I'd say we've done a better job at preparing and getting people ready for these types of storms to get out of the way. So unfortunately, 64 lives did pay the price. But all in all, when you look at the last major cyclone that hit this area, this was an improvement as far as unnecessary deaths that happened because of the storm. Again, we'll leave the link in our website. Thanks once again to Watchers.news. Eruption in Mount Agung ejects ash up to about 18,000 feet, I believe. 18,000 feet. This was on May 12th, 14:29 UTC time. Gotta love the black and white. The eruption lasted 2 minutes and 16 seconds with a maximum amplitude of 25 millimeters. Aviation code has been raised to red. The society remained calm and there is no need to evacuate. According to a spokesperson of the National Disaster Mitigation Agency, Bali remains safe and comfortable. And it says the airport there remains open as normal as well. The volcanic level remains at 3 with a danger zone of 2.5 miles. So it's almost like they're saying nothing to see here, folks. Taking a look at some footage here, Watchers.news. They always do a wonderful job at finding all of this great footage throughout YouTube and Twitter as well. A little geological summary of the area. You can take a look at this as well on the Watchers.news. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.